Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video, and today I'm here to discuss something that I've kind of been wanting to talk about with you guys for quite a while now. So hopefully you guys find this video interesting and enjoyable, and also feel like discussing this particular topic with me also, because I'm pretty interested to hear you guys' thoughts on this topic in general actually. So as you can tell from the title, I'm here to talk about 10 horror movies that I'd love to see on Blu-ray. So as you can see on the shelves in the background, I already own a lot of horror movies on Blu-ray, but just going over some of my DVD horror collection recently, there's a ton that I think desperately need to be released. And this comes to sort of the main point of this video, I guess. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. So you guys know that major companies like Scream Factory, Arrow Video, Umbrella Entertainment over here in Australia, Cinema Cult, which is also in Australia, and some of the other smaller companies worldwide seem to be going on a trend recently where they're re-releasing stuff that has either had a fairly older Blu-ray release, or B, that another label has put out. And in some cases we're talking about up to 3 releases from different companies of the same movie on Blu-ray, which I think is kind of ridiculous. I mean, I get why certain companies are doing it to cater for their particular regions, but for me, when I can import pretty much anything I want easily, I have a region-free player, so I'm not restricted in any way when it comes to that. I do find it kind of annoying that companies, especially within the past year and a half, I've really noticed it, that they're just re-releasing stuff that has already had a Blu-ray release. And sure, they may have a slightly better transfer or different special features, but that doesn't really excite me and entice me to pick up something that I already own, when there's a ton of movies, in my opinion, that I think should be released onto the Blu-ray format. And yes, I'm well aware that company rights are a big issue when it comes to getting the rights to release movies on Blu-ray. That's a massive factor. And I also am well aware that, you know, they've got to find the film negatives and stuff like that, which again can be a pretty big issue. So I'm well aware that there is issues and companies just can't release anything they want. You know, there's legal things behind it basically, but I don't know, I just think that there's certain movies that need to be released on Blu-ray that are more important than companies just re-releasing something that someone else has already put out basically. So that's a bit of a rant, but I'm definitely curious to hear you guys' opinions on that particular topic. Whether your opinion's similar to mine or different, that's cool. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think of the companies re-releasing stuff that has already been put out by someone else. Anyway, enough on that. Let's get on to the 10 horror movies that I'd like to see on Blu-ray. Alright, so first up we have April Fool's Day, and this has always been one of my favourite slasher films. I really love the concept. I think the cast of characters is great. It even has Amy Steele from Friday the 13th Part 2 in this. And yeah, I just really always have enjoyed this movie. It's got some good kills and it's got a pretty interesting twist as well. So yeah, this is one that I would love to see on Blu-ray, so hopefully one day someone can put it out. Next up we have Killer Party, and this is pretty much the prime example within this list of something that really needs to be released onto Blu-ray, because this doesn't actually have an official disc-based release at all. because this is actually a burn-on-demand disc from the Warner Brother Archives collection. So I'm not really too sure how easily it would be for a company to get hold of the rights from this film. I'm assuming kind of difficult, because I'm kind of guessing that Warner Brothers own it technically. So it could be difficult, but because this doesn't have an official release, I think this would be an absolutely awesome release for Scream Factory or Arrow Video to put out, because this is a great film and it definitely deserves to be on Blu-ray. Next up we have Nightmare Beach, or what it's more commonly known as is Welcome to Spring Break. And this slasher I've always considered to be pretty underrated. It's one of my favourites, especially for the story, the characters, and the uniqueness in terms of not only the kills but the killer as well. So yeah, this is definitely another one that I would love someone to release on Blu-ray. Next up we have Evil Laugh, and this one's pretty obscure. It's really cheesy, but it's just a really fun 80s slasher movie. The cast is pretty cool. I really like the killer in this one. It's got some really cheesy but fun kills, and yeah, this is just a really solid slasher that I think would really benefit a lot from a Blu-ray release. Next up we have Slaughter High, and this is one that's always surprised me that someone hasn't released this already, especially Arrow Video. I'm assuming it's difficult for them to get the rights, or they don't have HD transfer capability when it comes to this movie. But yeah, it's always baffled me why Arrow have never bothered to upgrade this to Blu-ray, because this is an awesome slasher. I know over in America that Lionsgate own the rights, and I know that they've been rather difficult when it comes to other companies releasing their stuff onto Blu-ray. But now that they're releasing the Vestron line with a lot of the Lionsgate titles onto Blu-ray, I'm hoping they get around to releasing Slaughter High. The next two that I'm about to show you, I'm absolutely baffled as to why they don't already have Blu-ray releases. I have no idea who owns these movies, but first up we have The Changeling with George C. Scott. This is one of the best ghost themed horror movies that I have ever seen. It's an absolute classic, and yeah, I'm very surprised that this does not have a Blu-ray release already, so hopefully one day someone can put it out. Next up we have The Hitcher, the original with Rutger Hauer, and this is an absolute classic. I've always absolutely loved this film, and this is another one like The Changeling that I'm really surprised hasn't already been released on Blu-ray. It's had a few different DVD releases, but it's never hit Blu-ray. And I know that a lot of people on the Blu-ray.com forums have been requesting this to be released on Blu-ray, especially from Scream Factory. So surely there's got to be some sort of rights issue behind this movie, because yeah, I'm really surprised that this one hasn't already been released on Blu-ray, but hopefully sometime it will, because it's a really good film. Next up we have The Willies, and I just always have a ton of fun every time I watch this. It's got Sean Astin in it from The Goonies, of course, and this is a really fun little horror anthology. It's only got 2 stories within this film, so the stories are slightly longer and they're both really good. I absolutely love the concept of the kids camping out in a tent and telling each other the stories. It's really well done. As I said, it's a lot of fun. Next up we have Inside, which is not only my favourite French horror movie, but it's my favourite home invasion film. And the French Four, this is part of the French Four, and they're kind of interesting because 2 of them have Blu-ray releases and then the other 2 don't, and I really have no idea why that is. But yeah, this is a tremendous movie, and obviously because it's on the list, I would love to see it on Blu-ray. And last but certainly not least, we have Bad Taste, and yes, this was the film that I was referring to that I most want to see on Blu-ray, and pretty much have ever since I really got into starting collecting for the Blu-ray format. I love this movie. I'm not really going to talk too much about it because I've mentioned it several times in numerous videos, but it's a massive shame that this one still has never seen a Blu-ray release. And the reason why I'm so disappointed is because Peter Jackson has said numerous times in different newspaper articles and online that he plans to release this along with his other earlier films onto Blu-ray once he'd finished up with the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit films, which he has. They've been finished for a few years now, and yeah, there's still been no mention or update as to whether he still plans to release Bad Taste. The longer it goes without hearing anything, the less likely it is, I think, which is a shame because this one would be amazing on Blu-ray. It's my most anticipated movie that I want to see on the Blu-ray format, and I think if either Peter Jackson released it himself through Wingnut or gave the rights to some company like Umbrella Entertainment over here in Australia, I think would do an absolutely fantastic job, as I'm sure Arrow Video would as well, or Scream Factory. But yeah, I'm dying for this film to be finally released on Blu-ray, so hopefully it does soon, because yeah, I really want to see Bad Taste on Blu-ray. Alright, so that pretty much does it for this video. I had a bit of a discussion and a rant at the start of the video, but really the main point of this was just for me to share with you guys 10 horror movies that I'd love to see on Blu-ray. And there's a few in this list that I think would really benefit a lot from being released on Blu-ray. So hopefully one day some of these films, if not all of them, finally get the Blu-ray treatment. We'll see. But yeah, I'm definitely keen to hear your opinions on this topic, especially when it comes to companies re-releasing stuff that other companies have already put out on the Blu-ray format. I don't know if it's just me, but I find that really frustrating, and that's has a lot to do with me not really importing a lot from these companies anymore, especially Scream Factory. And it's not just Scream Factory, most of the major companies are guilty of this. So yeah, I don't know, it's been just frustrating me for a while. So yeah, that's that. And also, if you guys feel like doing a video response showing 10 horror movies that you own on DVD that you'd like to see on Blu-ray, feel free to, that'd be great. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.